Hey guys, it's me, Poppy Rain here, coming to you with a new video. In today's video, we're going to be going through my movie collection, cleaning it out, rating movies, reviewing movies, that kind of thing today, because I haven't done that in a while, and I want to go through my movie collection. Because I've gotten some new movies. I haven't really gone through my movie collection in a hot minute, so. And I gotta clean up this area over here. My little movie area. Oh, dang it. Sorry, guys. Hold on. One of my toys fell on on our TV stand, the bottom of it. Half the area is the PlayStation, all the PlayStation stuff, and the other half is toys. It's like my little toy section. Oh, I'm going to see if... I'm going to give this to B. I'm going to see if B likes that one. So, I'm going to move you guys, because you guys can't see me from that angle. So, we're going to take everything out of this drawer. Because I have one full drawer of just movies, and then the other drawer is 3 sections. It's movies, electronic stuff, and then all our medicines and that kind of thing. Medical supplies. I'm going to go through. We're going to see what we're going to keep, what we're going to get rid of. And we're going to rate movies and talk about movies and all that stuff. So, as I'm taking movies out. So, the first movie we're going to talk about is my favorite musical of all time. My ex actually got me into this movie. I thrifted this one. This is Rent. It used to be on, Netflix. It's not anymore, though. But I absolutely love this movie. My grandma, or my great aunt, the last gift she actually ever got me was tickets to see this in concert. Or to see it performed at our... at our local theater. I told my mom that Christmas, there was 2 things. I told my mom me and my ex were getting my dad. My ex was going to pay for her ticket, and then we were splitting my dad's ticket, and I was going to pay for my ex was paying for my ticket. My dad was paying, and then we were splitting my dad's ticket, and I was going to pay for her ticket to go see Celtic Women when they came to the theater. And I'm like, and then I told her Rent was coming as well. My mom's like, well, I'll buy you guys the tickets. If you guys pay for your dad's ticket, I'll buy you and my ex's tickets to see Celtic Women. And I'll give you the money. And my great aunt. And that can be the gift from your great aunt. So... I love this movie because it literally covers everything. It covers like gay topics, covers like I would say like cross-dressers. It covers AIDS. It covers like struggling artists, poverty, drugs. Like it literally covers everything. This is such a great movie. I give this a 10 out of 10. I definitely, as awesome as it was to see it in theaters, I mean, I'm still more of a Rent movie person, but I have the Broadway musical soundtrack on my phone, like on my iTunes, and then I have this one, or the actual movie soundtrack. So we're going to keep this one. Next, we have my all-time favorite, what the heck is her? Abigail Breslin movie. My dad is a huge Abigail Breslin fan, because one of my dad's all-time favorite movies is definitely Maybe. Because, like, my dad's all-time favorite movies are Secondhand Lions, Definitely Maybe, Shawshank Redemption, Green Mile, and A Few Good Men. I've actually never seen the full thing of A Few Good Men, but my mom had to watch it for college. I watched part of it with her. I always seem, every time though someone is watching it, I always walk in on the court scene. When they're doing court. One of my dad's all-time favorite comedies is probably Rat Race. But this is The Ultimate Gift. This is not that popular of a movie. I want to say it's on Netflix. It might not be anymore. I think it was at one point. But basically, this character is getting an inheritance from... Oh, trust fund. From, I can't remember the relative. From some relative. And I think it was like a great uncle or something. Or an uncle. I think it was a great uncle. And he had to go through like a series of tasks to be able to get the money because he's like this spoiled rich kid. Everything gets handed to him type of thing. This one was actually a gift. One of the few movies my mom ever bought me that was not an epic fail. Because half the time my mom would get me these movies and they'd end up being epic fails. Like she bought me Sneakers. That was lame. She bought me My Giant, which was eh. Big Fish, I had to watch about 3 times before I finally understood the movie. Oh, another epic one that she bought me that I don't know if I still have. Yeah, I do still have. Is Spaceballs. That was another epic one that she bought me. I thought that was hilarious. Love that movie to this day. That movie is so magical, so epic. We're going to keep this one. I'm going to give this an 8.5 out of 10. Just because it is a little dry. But the whole storyline is like really, really, really good. Okay. If you're a 90... No. Okay, this came out in 2004. Early 2000s. If you were a kid in the early 2000s and you watched Cartoon Network at like 6 a.m., you'd watch random stuff like My Pet Aliens, Peccola, Sitting Ducks. This one, I can't remember if I thrifted this or found this at the grocery store. This is about, what is it? It's called Duckville. No. Yeah, Duckville. And crocodiles usually eat ducks. Oh, sorry, alligator, not crocodile. Alligators usually eat ducks. So this alligator wanders into Duckville or whatever it's called. And the duck and the alligator form a friendship and he ends up living there. And then there's like a random ass penguin. I literally haven't watched this in like forever, but it's just the fact of like you can't find it anywhere else. That's why I'm going to keep that one. I'll give that a 7 out of 10. Okay, this movie. I found this at the library. And then I had to buy a copy for myself. I have all except the first one because I had the first one on DVD or on VHS, but my ex stole it. They're supposed to be horror movies, but they're more comedy horror movies. There's Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. I think it's Return of the Killer Tomatoes, Revenge of the Killer Tomatoes. And I want to say, what's the other one? And Killer Tomatoes in Paris. I don't think I watched the full thing of Killer Tomatoes in Paris. I don't know. I just think these movies are just hysterical. And this is my favorite one out of the series. I definitely rate these 10 out of 10 for cheesy horror comedy movies. This I found at Dollar Tree. I didn't think I was going to like this as much, but I love Anna Sophia Robb. She's actually a really good character. Although, still my all-time favorite Anna Sophia Robb movie will be Bridge to Terabithia. Even though Because of Winn-Dixie was really good, too. I loved her in that. I actually read the book of Because of Winn-Dixie. And I didn't know Winn-Dixie was a real thing until I visited my grandma in Florida. This is a story about this girl, Anna Sophia Robb's character, who fakes being a nanny to get a job so she can try and get custody of her sister and not have to go back to juvie. And she becomes a nanny for this little girl. I don't know if it tells you what her name is. Glory. Who's autistic. It's just a really heartwarming story because I've worked a lot with autistic children. Through the church I grew up in, I had a few autistic children come through my toddler room. I babysat mostly for the two little siblings, the two half-siblings of an autistic little boy. But I babysat for him too sometimes. While I was out of work at the daycare, I babysat for two autistic children. Yeah. I'm going to give this a 9 out of 10 just because it is a tad dry. It's a little slow, but it's really inspirational, really good. Next, we have a classic comedy, which I'm going to keep. One of the best John Candy movies ever. I'm not a huge Dan Aykroyd fan, but I don't hate him either, but... Whoops. This is falling out. This one I bought... It says used sticker on the inside, so I think I bought it from... I can't tell what this sticker is. If I got this from FYE or Selling Around. This is The Great Outdoors. It's about two families. Oh no, it's about a family that goes on vacation. And Dan Aykroyd is like the brother of the dad. And they go on like this log cabin camping trip. And then he like comes and crashes it, and it's a whole thing. Like this is an older movie. This is from 1988. But still really good for an older film. Next we have the original It movie, which I also had on VHS at one point. I mean, it's a classic. It's a timeless. It's one of when you think of Stephen King, most people think of It, or Carrie, or Cujo, or Pet Sematary. Like, everybody knows It. It's a staple. Like, around Halloween time, when you see Halloween characters, they always have It. Sam, because Sam's epic. Freddy, Jason, Chucky, you know. He's considered a classic. I keep this one just for the nostalgia of it, even though, hands down, point blank, most people argue this point with me. The new one is 1,000 times better. Way scarier. Okay. Here's another one. If you guys have Tubi, you can watch this on Tubi. This I actually thrifted. I have not watched this full thing yet, but she's super cute. I remember watching her as a kid. It's called Lindsays House. It reminds me of Allegra's Window. You guys have never heard of Allegra's Window? I actually have a book that I read on this channel from Allegra's Window. It's kind of like a Muppet type of thing. Puppet characters. And they're all monsters or dragons. Dragons. It's a magical kind of daycare. Yeah. Lindsays House. And you never want to go home. Yeah, it's like a daycare center. It's Whimsy and her two little brothers and her mom and dad. They're preschool age. And it's just, like, super cute. I rate this 7 out of 6.5 out of 10. Because it's, like, again, not my favorite, but not something I reach for, but something, like, I watch. I mean, yes, they have it on Tubi, but, like, if you don't have any way to watch Tubi, then there's no other way to really watch it. Next, we have this one I found at the grocery store. I love this show. I think this was on Cartoon Network as well. Like, one of those weird... Whoa, the lighting's really shit, and you guys can't see this. I'm sorry, guys. We have a really shit lighting in here. I'm gonna move over here and see. Ah, this is a little bit better, not much. But this is Sucky. Chop, Sucky, Chew. Chokes. They are chickens and birds that do karate. They do kung fu. I don't know. I think it's hilarious. Again, I'm going to give it a 7 because it's really cute, but it's not like one of my go-tos. Next, we have a classic. This is from... I can't remember where I got this, but this is from 2003. We're going to keep this one as well. Do you guys remember this movie? Do you even know who this guy is? This guy is Justin Guarini, who was the first ever winner of American Idol. Actually, not Kelly Clarkson. Due to popular belief, Kelly Clarkson actually came in second place. They were the first place and second place finalists. And this is a musical. It's like the whole girl meets guy on spring break, love story type of thing. Not one of my favorite musicals, but I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. Because, like I said, nothing can beat Rent. That's my all-time favorite musical. Another one I really love is Bride and Prejudice. I can't think of her name. She's a really popular Bollywood actress. Okay. Hands down, one of the top 5 best Owen Wilson movies ever. You Mean Dupree. Hilarious. I wasn't too crazy about him in the Fokker. I think he was in Meet the Parents, and then he was in Little Fockers. I wasn't super crazy about him in those. Loved him in this. And I'm not, like, a huge, like, I don't remember what else Matt Dillon's in, and I'm not a huge Kate Hudson fan. Like, I don't hate her either. I do have a couple other Owen Wilson films, I believe. I think I still have Drillbit Taylor, which, again, is another awesome Owen Wilson film. Marley and Me was really good, too. It's like Owen Wilson's character is the lonely loner best friend of Matt Dillon's character. And him and Kate Hudson's character, like, just got married, and, like, he's just living with them and mooching off them and kind of thing. It's great. It was actually the first Owen Wilson movie I ever saw. I think, no, I can't remember what other Owen Wilson movies I've seen. Those are ones that stand out in mind. Okay, any 90s baby will know this. I had books of these. I don't know what happened to them. You can actually watch this on Tubi. Yeah, any of you 90 babies out there, remember, everyone's favorite Canadian clown, Lunette and Molly. We used to have a Molly doll at my work. I don't know what happened to it. I wanted to steal it so bad because they're so hard to find and expensive. But best clowns ever aside from Pennywise. Best non-scary clowns ever on planet. Oh, no, my other favorite non-scary clown would be JoJo from JoJo's Circus. Again, I'm going to give this an 8. It's going to get an 8 for nostalgia. It's not like something I really reach for that often, but I'm going to keep it anyways. I just love it. So far, we're not doing very good getting rid of movies. Next, we have this movie that I found at Dollar Tree. This next movie I found at Dollar Tree, I haven't opened it yet. This is Series 8, Part 1 of Doctor Who. I started watching Modern Doctor Who to impress this chick, which was an epic fail. I got halfway through Season 3 and then stopped watching. So I'd like to get back into Doctor Who, so I do have another Doctor Who movie in here somewhere that I also got from Dollar Tree. So I'm going to keep those for that purpose. Then we have, okay, this was not as good as the book. This was disappointing. This is called House. This is a horror movie. The book was written by 2 of my all-time favorite horror authors who are Christian, Ted Decker and Frank Peretti. I like Ted Decker better than Frank Peretti, but the book was definitely way better. It has like a religious twist at the end, but it's not like overly religious. I mean, it's not good when you've seen it a million times, but if you've never seen it, it's scary as shit the first time you watch it. So I'm going to give this a 10 out of 10. Or, no, sorry, I'm going to give that an 8 out of 10. Just because the book was good. Okay, so I can't stand Drew Barrymore. The only movies I can stand to watch her in are 50 First Dates. It's 50 First Dates. E.T. I think there's one other one. And this one. The best Drew Barrymore movie other than 50 First Dates. Because she wasn't really like a super big character. I wouldn't consider her in E.T. 50 First Dates is just amazing as hell. Like, it's such a classic Adam Sandler movie. But this is really good. And I can't remember who plays her husband. But she becomes like a teen mom. James Wood. Like, she becomes a teen mom. And she's like writing her memoirs or whatever. Traveling. She wrote her memoirs. And she's like telling the story of her life to her son. I'll read you the back because that doesn't really make a lot of sense. It says, from celebrated or... We'll skip some of this. Okay. This is a story of a girl who did everything wrong but got everything right. Make way for Beverly, a smart, beautiful young woman who can't wait to grow up, much to the frustration of her police sergeant father. Oh, James Wood plays the father. Never mind, sorry. Steve Zahn plays the dad. Her life takes its first detour when she gets pregnant at age 16. Baby's father, her husband, turned out to need more mothering than her newborn son, but brought all the trouble. Beverly makes a life that's more than she ever imagined and lives a story that's waiting to be told. Join the ride and watch Beverly kick life where it counts. So basically, she's like telling the story to her son. She like writes the story of her life or whatever. And her son is like taking her on the journey. Like I said, I can't stand her. But I'll give this movie an 8 out of 10. Or a 7 out of 10. Because it's a good movie, but it's not something like I really reach for. Next, we have one of my all-time favorite Mandy Moore movies. The first Mandy Moore movie I ever watched. Well, actually, no. The first one I ever saw her in was Princess Diaries. The first one where she was a star character. My dad gets so... I had to buy this movie on DVD because my dad gets so annoyed every time I DVR it. This I got from Soundaround. I absolutely love this movie. Bad boy falls in love. Basically, just the story is, bad boy has to do community service, falls in love with pastor's daughter. If they become friends, pastor's daughter has cancer, they fall in love. I'm not going to tell you any more than that because it's going to give too much away. Really good romantic story. This is based on a Nicholas Sparks movie. Nicholas Sparks book, in case you didn't know. 10 out of 10, even though I've seen it 1.5 million times. Okay, this one is also a musical that I would love to see. This is Waitress. I thrifted this one. Not one I tend to reach for, but really good. I'm going to give it 9 out of 10. I'll give it an 8.5. I don't really reach for it. Girl works at a diner, has an abusive husband, gets pregnant with the husband. Yeah, is in the process of trying to leave the husband. Husband's abusive, obviously, won't let her leave. Falls in love with the doctor, taking over for her doctor. Because her doctor, like, went out of town or whatever. Or moved out of town or whatever. Hot young doctor. Has an affair with him. But dreams of opening a pie shop. I don't know why I'm attracted to movies like that, but I just am. Next, we have another inspirational movie. My mom bought this for me for Christmas, I believe, one year. Heaven is Real. Based on a true story. It's about a little boy who gets really sick. I don't think this is accurate to the actual book, though, is my one big complaint. So for that, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10, because it's a great story, but it's not accurate enough to the book. But basically, pastor's son, or no, maybe he's not the pastor's son, sorry, I'm getting this confused. Or maybe he is no, sorry, I'm getting this confused with a different movie. This little boy in a small town gets really sick. And when he's in the hospital, he claims he died and went to heaven and met Jesus. Or no, maybe he is the pastor. Yeah, he is the pastor's son in this movie. And they're like, oh, this is all just things you heard in church. And the parents don't really believe him until he started telling the parents all about this miscarriage that the mom had. That they never told the kids, they had never told him about. And it was super cool. So we're going to keep that one. So far, in the getting rid of movies department, we're sucking balls. Next, we have, as I mentioned, Spaceballs. I might honestly get rid of this one just because it's on Netflix. And I really don't ever watch it, so this is going to be a maybe. But if you like, parody movies of any kind, hands down, 10 out of 10 for best parody of Star Wars. Although my all-time favorite parody is Vampire Suck, which I think I might have. Okay. First Natalie Portman movie I ever saw. This one I don't remember where I bought this. Home is Where the Heart Is. Or Where the Heart Is, sorry. This is where I got the name from one of my dolls, Americus Winolia. Because she names her daughter Americus in this movie. And then Winolia comes from Because of Winn-Dixie and another movie that I'll be talking about, White Oleander. Natalie Portman is like my dream actress of all times. She's hot as hell. Although my all-time favorite is her as Queen Amidala. In the original trilogy of Star Wars. But absolutely love her in this movie. Basically, this girl runs on bad luck. She's pregnant. Her boyfriend leaves her. Stranded at Walmart. And she ends up giving birth in Walmart. It's like her whole story of like how she deals with it and everything. 10 out of 10. Next. We have another Big Comfy Couch movie. I have not actually watched this one yet. This is Festive Season 2. I got this at Dollar Tree again. Still sealed. But I'm giving this a 7 or 8 out of 10. For nostalgia. Nostalgic. My second favorite Mandy Moore movie, I haven't seen this one in forever, is Chasing Liberty. I'm going to give this an 8 out of 10 just because I don't really reach for it. I mean, I don't really reach for a lot of these movies, though. She is a
especially when you fed the dog that your fucking food.
First daughter. And she's like rebelling and runs away. Comes back. Love this movie so much. She runs away with this guy that she thinks she just met on the street. And this guy she meets, yeah, it's a good movie. Next, we have Insurgent, which is from the Divergent series. This one I thrifted. I have Divergent somewhere. This is the second one, because Legion, I believe, is the last one. I think it's Divergent, Insurgent, and then Legion is the last one. Really good series. Definitely liked it better than Hunger Games. Even though I've seen Hunger Games too.
Eat your fucking food.
8 out of 10 on this one. Then we have Little Charmers, which you can't see on TV anymore. They don't really have this on cable anymore. Not that we have cable, and I don't really know any other way to watch it. I found this at Dollar Tree, had to have it. Because Little Charmers was one of the first, when I became a little, was one of the first shows I ever fell in love with. Little Charmers and Shimmer and Shine. And I have, I can't think of her name, but I have her and her cat. They're super cool. So I keep that one because you can't watch anywhere else. Then we have one of the top 5 best Jim Carrey movies, which I think might be on Netflix still. I don't remember where I got this. This is the Truman Show. They take him as a baby, and like his whole life's been a show. Everyone's been watching him grow up and everything. He doesn't know he's on a TV show. He thinks it's all real life. We have this DVD that was custom made for me from my aunt, so we're gonna keep that. Okay. And this has Dakota Fanning in it. Another great actress. And it's got Queen Latifah, who's amazing as well. And Alicia Keys. Didn't realize. Ooh, Jennifer Hudson. I didn't realize they were in here. But this is a good movie about diversity and racism and stuff. Secret Life of Bees. I haven't watched this one in forever, but basically Dakota Fanning runs away from her abusive dad and goes to find Queen Latifah's character, who Mom had talked about a lot. She runs away with her maid. Like, I don't know if she was really a maid, but it was like back. They weren't like full-on slaves, but they weren't like. It was like in between the time when slaves and not slaves, and like she runs away to this black family to like them because she was really good friend with her mom and her dad. She had witnessed her dad killing her mom. Or no, what was the story? No, I think it was she shot her mom. While trying to save her from her abusive dad. I think that's what the story was. Something like that really good. Okay. Another show you can watch on Tubi. Petticoat Junction. I got this from, I think, Family Dollar, Dollar General. It's only 1 disc, but one of my top 10 favorite vintage like shows from when my parents were younger. Happy Days. So some of my top 10 older shows are Elf. I love Elf. Happy Days. Petticoat Junction, the one I'm currently watching on Tubi, which is Green Acres. Brady Bunch. Love this one. Petticoat Junction. Beverly Hillbillies. So we're going to keep that one. Not that I ever reach for it. Best superhero movie ever. Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman's my favorite superhero. 10 out of 10. Highly recommend. Second favorite superhero movie would hands down be Logan. That would be my second favorite. I love Logan. That was epic too. I used to be obsessed with Wolverine for a while. I used to be like hardcore obsessed with Harley Quinn, Wolverine, and Wonder Woman. Now I'm kind of over my obsessions, but I still love Wonder Woman and Harley Quinn. And Wolverine, I mean, Chris, like, or Daddy. Daddy would say his, like, favorite would be... what do you call it? His favorite would be... can't think of his name. Deadpool. But I just realized this video is going to be like 36 minutes long at this point. And I don't feel like editing this, so I'm going to go and I will make a part 2 of this. And I'll catch you on the flip side. Bye, guys.